some of the human rights violations and challenges that Pakistanis are facing, not only in Pakistan but also overseas, especially in UK. You will hear from some audience members here of transnational repression, family members being abducted, harassed because they spoke out against the Pakistani authorities and military individuals who are involved in human rights violations. I will also share some few examples of these violations and human rights abuses with you. As you may be aware, Amnesty International and other human rights organizations have raised serious concerns about the brutal use of force against peaceful protesters in Islamabad, including shoot at sight orders, which was actually given by the military and Foreign Secretary of Pakistan. Over hundreds, coming like as we mentioned about women briefly, there have been actually more than hundreds of women arrested, detained without due process, including several prominent female political figures, as he mentioned, Dr. Yasmin Rashid. There are others like Faiza Murad, Aisha Bhutta, Bija Shah, Iman Mazari, Alima Khan, who is Imran Khan's sister, and Rubina, another sister of Imran Khan. As I use their names because they deserve to be known and not disappeared as government wishes them to be. Alia Hamza remained imprisoned without cause of any trial, and she was repeatedly arrested within the jail, like for months and months. Dr. Yasmin Rashid, who is actually a gynecologist, has been accused of terrorism charges for taking part in peaceful protests, despite actually a clear evidence that she was asking protesters to stay calm. She has stayed in prison for almost like 1+ years. There is actually concrete evidence that she was peaceful, and she's anyway elderly, around 80+ year, cancer survivor woman, and she still faces charges and she's still in prison on terrorism charges. Faiza Murad, a lawyer, was dragged, beaten, and arrested by neighborhood police officers while peacefully protesting at Liberty Beach in May 2023. Not only was she interrogating some male officers and forced to sleep on the floor of an interrogation room, she had been denied access to her family. In July 2024, Saida Uruba Komal, a university student who was working as a social media manager for PTI, was taken from her university residence, like a hostel, where other female students were harassed by the officers in military or agencies. As these are the only few examples of forced abductions, there are like numerous other women have been abducted during midnight raids without the presence of female officers, and this has actually become the norm in Pakistan. The families and women are harassed, children are dragged, and the girls are beaten up at home, facing threats of sexual violence. Actually, I would like to share an article BBC published in May, on 24th of May 2023. Actually, they reported disturbing testimonies from detained women. One woman recounted, "I told them not to touch me, that I would get into the police van myself. The officer replied, 'You are not a decent girl. If you were, you wouldn't have left your home.' My mother had passed away, but if she were alive, she would have died seeing this." Basically, stronger terrorism laws originally introduced to deal with security threats of Pakistan has been used extensively against women's. Okay, there are some further testimonies surfaced in BBC detaining how women lost their homes due to continuous police raids, harassed by security agencies. Many of them were abandoned to their families and friends, leaving them with no support system and no house. Government officials have made derogatory remarks targeting women, clearly aiming to intimidate and suppress their democratic activism. One of the most disturbing examples is the treatment of Imran Khan's wife, whose menstrual cycle was repeatedly discussed in court hearings, a blatant violation of basic human dignity and privacy. Now I'm talk about house raids, as Zulfi mentioned, that there have been huge number of house raids since Imran Khan's ousted. Media news indicates that every protest, when it's called by